As you can see, it now lists the files, reads the agent, and then explains its own loop in plain English. 40 lines of Python, no framework, and this agent chain 3 tool calls on its own to answer that. And the trick behind it is dumber than you think. You know that feeling. You copy a LangChain quick start, it runs, and you can't explain a single line. Then it breaks and there's nowhere to look because it all lives inside the framework. So today we write one from an empty file and you'll see what frameworks hide. So here is the whole idea. An agent is just a model, some tools, and a loop wrapped around them. The model reads the task and picks a tool. Your code runs that tool and feeds the result back. Then it loops and the model decides the next move. That's the entire mechanism. But one small piece decides whether it works or dies on step 1. Alright, here is the part that matters. Without a loop, the model fires exactly one tool call and just stops. It never sees the result, so it can't take a second step. Wrap that same code in a while loop and everything changes. Now it chains calls, list files, then read file again until the task is done. Same model, same tools, one loop. It will make more sense once you see it in the code. Let's get the project set up. We only need one package, which is the Anthropic SDK. That is the entire dependency list. After that, you only need to specify your Anthropic API key. Alright, let's start writing. We import auth from the file system and the Anthropic client, then create the client. The client reads your API key from the environment automatically. And we also have two tools. List files just returns the names in a directory. Read file opens a path and hands back the text. Both are plain Python functions and nothing fancy. So here is the key detail. The model can't see your Python functions. It only knows tool exists if you describe it. That is what the schema defines. Each tool gets a name, a description, and an input schema defining the arguments. The description matters more than you think. That is literally how the model decides when to call it. If you write a vague description, the model might call a wrong tool. The runners map each tool name straight to the real function, so it is passed by name later. Alright, here is the version most people write first. We send the task with our tools, get one reply, and run whatever tool the model asked for. Now let's open the terminal and see what happens when we actually run it. The model asks to list files, we list them, and then it just stops. It made exactly one tool call and never answered the question. The stop reason is still tool use, which means the model wanted to keep going. We just never allowed it. And that is the whole bug. Now let's remove this function that we just built and see the correct way to do it. This loop is the entire fix. This is the same call as before, but now it lives inside a while loop. Every time the model replies, we check the stop reason. If it is anything other than tool use, the model is done, so return its answer and break out. Just a quick heads up on that return. Sonnet can put the thinking block first, so we grab the text block by type and not by index 0. When it is tool use instead, the model wants a tool and we fall through to handle it. That is the control flow the framework was hiding from you. And now we are about to write the one piece the broken version skipped. Alright, this is the piece the broken version was missing. After the model asks for a tool, we append its message to the history. Then we loop over the content, find every tool use block and actually run it. We print the call so we can watch the chain live. Each result goes back as a tool result and the tool use ID has to match the ID from the call. That matching is what tells the model which answer belongs to which request. We append all of that as a user message, then the while loop sends it back. Now the model sees the result and decides its next move. And the last thing to notice is that the main now points to the agent instead of the old to wrong function. Alright, now is the moment of truth. Let's run the agent.py and see what happens now. Alright, let's see what we've got. As you can see, it now lists the files, reads the agent, and then explains its own loop in plain English. This is the same model, same tools, and the same task. The only thing that we added was the loop, and now it chains calls on its own. And that is what an agent is. You just wrote one from an empty file and it can already read itself. Alright, let's look at what you've got now. You can open an empty file and write a real agent without magic. Every turn you know exactly what's happening because you wrote the loop yourself. And when it breaks, you know where to look. That's the part frameworks take away from you. From here, try adding a third tool, something like write file, and watch the model use it on its own. Then swap in your own task and see how far the loop carries it. Once you understand this, you can judge for yourself when a framework is worth it. If you want more like this, hit subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.